Hello guys, and welcome to the second episode of NatCam Snippets. I'm sorry for it taking so long for me to produce a second episode, but let's just head right in. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to use NatCam from code manually. We will not be using any helping components or anything of that nature. First thing I want to do is create a script which I will call webcam. And I'll open MongoDevelop and open the script up. The first thing you want to do is import the NatCam namespace. So I will say using NatCam U, standing for NatCam Unity. And once you do that, the first thing you want to do is initialize NatCam. So I will just call natcam.initialize. And you have to call NatCam initialize before you call any other thing in the NatCam API. You can see the parameters, the NatCam interface, preview type, and the metadata detection switch. I explain each of these arguments in the previous video, so you want to check that out. I'm just going to not supply any parameters and keep everything as default as it is. The second thing I want to do is simply play the camera. So I will say play the camera, and I will call natcam.play, and in here I would supply a device camera to play from. I want to play from the rear camera, so I will say device camera.rear camera. Now, at this stage, I've told NatCam, hey, please play the camera preview, but then I want to see it, so I would say that I want to set the preview texture to whatever the camera's showing on perhaps a raw image. Once the preview starts, so I will import Unity Engine UI so I could hook up a raw image. Let's just define a field called raw image. And so I would say execute on preview start. And the reason why I do this is because I want, you can only set the preview texture to anything once the preview actually starts, because prior to this happening, natcam.preview is going to be null. So in here I will supply a delegate to be called, which I will define now. So I would say void on preview start. It takes no arguments. Sorry for that. It takes no arguments. And here I want to set the raw image texture. So I would say raw image.texture equals natcam preview. And that's it. I don't need the update method, so I will take that out. Oops, there we go. And now let's hook it up to the UI and test it out. So the first thing I want to do is create a UI canvas. Well, actually a UI panel. I'll remove the image component and instead add a raw image. I will call this preview, and I will create an empty game object, which I will call webcam, which is where I would add my webcam script. And I would link the preview raw image, and what did I do? Oh, I saved it as untitled. Oops. So let's rename this to custom setup. And we will drag this into our scenes folder. And now we would go ahead and build. So I'll add the open scene, delete that. Everything looks good. And I will call this custom setup. There we go. And let's see how it looks on the device. So the APK has loaded, and now let's see how it looks. So it's loading, it's taking a while to load, and there we have it. So there's our camera preview. And as you can see, it looks really pretty, looks beautiful, and there we have it. So now that we've been able to start the camera, what if we want to set the resolution? What if we want to set the frame rate and all that stuff? I'll quickly show you how to do that, and actually first I'll show you the documentation, because there's a lot of things you can do with NatCam. So here, To access the NatCam documentation, you go to NatCam and scripting reference, and that should open up your browser. NatCam is bundled with this documentation, and what we will be looking at is the functions in the device camera class. So here we can set exposure, set focus, set frame rate, set photo resolution, and set the preview resolution. We could also set these properties, like the exposure mode we can set, the flash mode, the focus mode we can set. We can also set the torch mode and the zoom ratio. So here I would quickly, I would make a way to set the resolution from the editor. So let's make a public field which is of type resolution preset called resolution. And here, if I want to set the resolution of the camera, first I have to make it the active camera. Set the camera active. And so I would say natcam.activeCamera equals device camera dot rear camera. The next thing I want to do is actually set the resolution. So I would say set the resolution. And I would say natcam.activeCamera dot set resolution, and I would pass in the resolution field I just declared. And then when I call play, I don't actually need to supply any camera because it's already active, and I can save. Let's go back to the editor and see what resolution presets we have. So as you can see, there are 5 resolution presets. HD is 720p, full HD is 1080p. Highest resolution is the highest resolution it supports. Medium resolution defaults to 640 by 480, and lowest resolution is the lowest possible resolution. So if you want to see more ways, more things you can do with this, you can open up the NatCam code, go to script, and go to Unigram base. And here, there's a lot of code. It might look intimidating, but everything's commented so you know what exactly is happening. I'll join you on our next episode, and in that episode we will be looking at how to capture a photograph. Join me then, subscribe, and thank you for watching.